Radio test over. Checking the SWR. Okay, it's not blown up yet.
Sound good here.
All right, just seeing if I blew anything up. No, I think it's okay. Make one adjustment on the receiver. Well, I think everything that's up and running is up and running. So if I point to the other studio... Oh, they're not hooked up yet. Hold on. Well, let's get the other studio hooked up.
Yeah, the audio's kind of down.
No, it's not even existent. The audio circuit is blown up. Let me reset it.
Alrighty. Is that some Skip trying to come in?
I don't know. It's he or Jeff.
I'm not sure. No, I heard someone say, all right, it was a weak signal, but, you know.
That sounded like the big signal out of Sanger. It wasn't weak here. Let's try this again. We've reset everything.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Well, I don't know. Sounds like they got their wires crossed. Sounds like they got their wires crossed over there. The Old Tube Radio Network, the thing that happens on this frequency, on this channel, just about every Saturday night, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific time. For those with tube radios and even those without tube radios, the sound of your Citizen Band radio the way it was back in the day when I think there was only glow-in-the-dark radios. When everybody had a good time, nobody was picking up their cell phones to talk to their friends. Yes, after they turned off the television watching Red Skelton or Jackie Gleason, they would head over into the room that had the Citizen Band radio. And then they would fire it up and have a good time. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Hello, my name is Dennis, your net control for the evening, the Old Tube Radio Network, where we begin with the directed net roll call of the shortwave listeners. And after that, our tube radio operators take the stage and perform what they do best with their classic radios, and we will be listening in and tuning in for that. So without any further ado, on our roster, week 8 of 8 weeks, Mr. JT, DD21, Dirty Diaper 21, who was on Old Radio Night tonight with a great radio. I will see if I can find that coming up, but I see a JT, and we do have you checked in. And if you're watching the video, hello, was up at the Meadow Lakes SBE, Society of Broadcast Engineers picnic, annual picnic and barbecue. It was a really great day up there, about 75 degrees. Went on the transmitter tours and did all sorts of stuff. So made it back just in time to sit in the air chair, but had a good time up there at 4,500 feet, where the air was semi-clear. There's a fire south of here in some of the national parks up at Sequoia. And you could not see the valley up at 4,500 feet looking down. You could barely see the next little ridge. That's how bad the smoke was up there today. 00 is in. SWL number 1 is always in, listening somewhere. SWL number 2, Mr. OBP. over on the video side, saying that the sunspots are getting better in cycle 25. 20 meters was good. It was a Texas QSO party earlier. We'll check the bands out and see if those are working. Hello, OBP. Thanks. Let's see. If you were around, you would be 9 pounds, good modulation, Sheston and Herndon. Over to SWL3. SWL4. SWL5. SWL6. If I can make it through the noise, SWL7.
SWL7 checking in. Yes, there is major noise, but luckily you're coming over it.
All right, well, closeness, proximity does help a little bit. Let's see, the Echo link is up thanks to 23 Skidoo and whatever he does to make that happen at Old Tube Radio Network, or node 354870 on the Echo link side. Over to, and the bands have been quiet. I've been listening. I don't think we've had any skip like we did last week, where we heard many various and sundry stations beaconing through, like this one, SWL10. Get Chrissy checked in. Might be in a little bit down the road. You know who we also heard? Let me see if I got the audio somewhere. Out in the mobile, given the mini grass, the Watt 4. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to see if we can hear this for listening. The 428 British Columbia Mobile waving a hand. That was direct audio from last week. The boys from Squamish, who are, up in a balcony with all the things that they do. I'm not sure if we can hear you this week on the mobile, but you obviously made it last week in fine style. Let's try SWL 13. SWL 14. SWL 16. I am checking my chart here. I'm behind. If you follow along up on the top there, SWL 16 Charlie, of course, out in Anoka, Minnesota, who is here early as we were doing the audio test and checking in. I think he's working on... Who is working on the Q card tonight? Somebody. I can't see. They got the lights. They got all the lights working in the studio here, so it's hard to see past. It's hard to see past the monitors. So, Charlie, you can write anything you want on the cards, and I probably won't be able to tell what you put on them. Over to SWL 17. SWL 18. Got a note to get a proxy check-in from Mr. KDA, which I will do. And as always, from Derby, New York, by way of Belfast, Maine. I think he must have a remote. Is that how you do it, Chet? You have those guys that have the Skype Flex Radio remote bases or something like that. Anyway, Chet is listening in. Good to have you along. Over to SWL 20, who I think is somewhere around. He shouldn't be working tonight.
I'm not working tonight. Please check in me, 29 and 54, and we'll catch you later.
All right, we got you checked in, and we will definitely listen for any radio items coming up. All right, I see that Chrissy is in, so let me get the official SWL10 checked in. And let me head over to SWL21, checked in as 00, and concluding his duties this week as our double zero, as we will grab somebody from perfect attendance from last week. Here is, let me see if I got Old Radio Night in the queue.
845. Let's see.
Yeah, there he is.
How's your foot doing?
On the SBE Trinidad.
Well, the foot's okay.
And the DNA Maverick reverse preamp. On Old Radio Night tonight.
Wasn't your foot hurting you a while back?
See, JT's a great guy. Not only does he provide the radio service, but he does like this medical thing, this checkup to make sure everybody who checks in is in tip-top shape. I even think he mails out vitamins and things like that. So, and JT, rest up. You're much deserved rest tonight after doing Old Radio Night from the Wasama Swamps. Got you checked in. We are going to SWL 22. And let's see, SWL 23. Let me see. Let me get 23 checked in and over to the Echo Link link. I don't know if 23 is good to do. Sometimes when you set the stuff up, that's easy to do, but to actually use all the stuff that you set up may not be that easy to do. So we'll give it a try. We'll see if 23 is on frequency tonight on Echo Link. K3TEB KB6GFD over.
Good evening, Dennis, and hello to all the SWLs out there. 23 Skidoo here, KA3TEB, checking in from the amazing Santa Cruz County Fair, where the Pig Steeplechase race is about to begin. That's some greased lightning, if you ask me.
Probably. We are getting ready for the big. That's Bravo India Golf Fresno Fair that should be happening, I think, in the beginning of October. And I don't know if they have anything, if they have any pigs. Well, they probably have pigs, but I don't know if they race around. So you're sounding good. Thanks again for the Echo Link link. And if you've got something in the race, I hope you bring back a blue ribbon. Over.
Well, I don't have something in the race, but I got something on the race, a 5-spot, so maybe that'll buy me a corn dog if my pig comes in.
All right. So and maybe it'll be one of those turkey dogs so that your pig will survive the corn dog as well. All right, 73 to you, and thanks for checking in. KB6GFD.
K3TEB.
And Mitch, 23 could do up the Echo link at 354870 is the node. Over to SWL 24. Shortwave listener 25. Then we go over to, we turn the page. SWL 27.
27's checking in live from Studio G. And it's pretty nice out here tonight. Number 27.
Looking good, 27. Corn dogs make all three meat groups. I don't know. I don't know about corn dogs. You know, I'm surprised. I'm surprised, Dwayne, that you don't try to come up to the. I guess we should invite you. Give you an invite to the Society of Broadcast Engineers picnic up there at Meadow Lakes. I think you would enjoy that. And we don't have corn dogs. Just some really good tri-tip barbecued up by Mr. Ken Holden. Anyway, you are sounding good, and I've got you checked in.
Roger.
Old Tube Radio Network. We're on the net control SWL roll call. The radios will be checking in shortly. Your favorite radios, those glow-in-the-dark radios. Up to SWL 28 up in Sacramento, where I know they had a great day. It wasn't even 90 degrees here today, so Sacramento was probably doing even better. Gary's saying good evening. 28 checking in, and he's ready for a one-of-a-kind show with the King of Swing. Yes, we're waiting for that King of Swing to show up any moment. Anyway, we'll find out what's happening in the green room tonight, coming up on the Bob and Steve show. And away we go. As Jackie Gleason used to say. Thanks, Gary. Got you checked in. SWL 29 proxy for Mr. Loner. And the dude that sounded really good, I think he was on the Robin, one of the Robins that checked in last week from afar. Dwayne, I see you there, and we will get you checked in. Got you checked in. Over to SWL 31. SWL 32. SWL 33. Myself, Bozo Control. And everyone around. There's been a lot of activity. As you know, there's been a lot of construction and things going on here at the old tube radio control. So I'll have to get the update. They're kind of keeping me in the dark as to what's going on around here. SWL 34, Railroader Jimmy, Little Toot, and all the gang there. I see somebody up in the balcony is up in from Chicago. I know Jimmy is like right around the corner in Chicago. I don't know if that's you. I don't see you on the thing. I'll get a proxy check in for. I'll give an X. Jimmy is everywhere. He's ubiquitous on Facebook for all the great tube radio, CB radio, amateur radio, whatever it is. Whatever the mix is on the Facebook page. Jim has something to do with it here. Also, up in the balcony tonight, hello to Castle Hayne. That's a new one, Castle Hayne, North Carolina. What's going on in Castle Hayne? It's 71 degrees at 11:17. Castle Hayne is a census-designated place in New Hanover County. The population was 1,202, up from 1,116. Well, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Who is next? Let's go over to SWL 35. And I'm going to have to refresh my comments to see if Mr. Bill is beaconing in tonight. Over to SWL 36. SWL 37. And Chris is in. Chris, if you're away in the room, I am checking you in. So do not sprint into the radio room and knock something over, lest you get in trouble with your better half. 37 is checked in. Batavia, there's 34. I see you, Jimmy. I think the internet is a little on the slow side. As always, I'm going to try my very unsuccessful railroader salute here on the old Tube Radio Network. Here we go. Well, that worked a little bit better. And I haven't even been practicing. I think I just caught that one on a good toot. Over to SWL 38. Why, you think that high frequency just whacks out the Wheatstone processor. It takes a while to recover after that. SWL 39. And let me go back. There is my page just finally refreshed. My internet on this other computer is very slow. Mr. Bill in Cheyenne, Wyoming, in cool Cheyenne, saying hello, radio. Gotcha, Bill. Thanks for that. And Albert is in. Albert's in digitally. Like I said, last week he was in over the air. Let's go to SWL, I'll call 39 again. SWL 40. And 23 Skidoo said that sounded like the ghost train, the whistle of the ghost train. I'll remember that for next month. The loose caboose. What was it? Red Sovine, Phantom 309. This is the Phantom 309 engine, Phantom Engine 309. I called SWL 40, and 40 is right there. I see a I see a 40 from the basement. It takes a while for the signal to get out of the basement, I guess. And right there also, Mr. Road Dog 507, or is it correct to say 507, out there in the Hudson Valley of New York, 2 International Sideband 507. Hello, radio. Over to shortwave listener 42. I'll get Jerry and the gang checked in. SWL 43. And I will get a check-in for Eddie, who is probably maybe listening online, but might not be hearing things. Yeah, at the Junction, there's a little hotel called the Shady Rest. Lots of tubes, you bet. I think that's what they said. 44. I got 44 said they were listening somewhere out of work, I think. So 44 is checked in, or they were away. They were not near the radio. They don't have one of those coiled cords long enough to get things plugged in. Let's drive to North Fork. Hello, Paul. Over.
Hello, Dennis. So far, you're sounding super. 45.
Yeah, we don't have our E-skip sporadic like we did last week, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. See how it goes. I'm trying to keep the transmitter up and running here, which it might be doing if I keep it up. But you're sounding good as well. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Paul is in. Over to SWL 46. Shortwave listener 47.
Well, good evening, sir, from the Radio Lounge, SWL 47.
LO 47. I expected you to take a long transmission, so I went to grab some water, which I didn't get enough water up at the picnic. It was good to see you. Mike was up on the hill with some of us at the Society of Broadcast Engineers picnic, and was in our sort of short. We didn't get to go to a lot of the stations because a lot of the engineers weren't there to let us in, but we went into one of the big multi-kilowatted radio TV facilities and saw what it is you need to do to to be wall-to-wall, treetop tall, and to get down. It was good to see you today.
Yeah, thank you. It was great meeting everyone and visiting all the antennas and whatnot. Although I got to say that once I got home and looked at my own antenna array here, I kept on hearing the Price is Right losing horn in the back of my mind, or maybe it was a mix between that and and Wile E. Coyote, whenever he gets smashed or whatever, blown up or something like that, he always had some sad trombone, a little muted wah 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 type thing. That's what I heard in my mind when I got home and looked at my antenna array. And to be honest with you, when I'm looking at my radio right now and contemplating the probably 1 watt that I'm putting out, I think I'm hearing it in my mind again. But anyways, it was great seeing everyone up there. Just an absolute delight.
Yeah, it was good. Glad you made it up, and I made it back to my vehicle and went down the hill. No problem. No problem at all. I just needed a rest. And found out some very interesting things. Mike got to meet Mr. Announcer. One of his rare appearances. When he comes out to play. Okay. Also, there's a lot of activity here tonight going on in the studio. I don't know if is the pool open. Where's Bob and Steve? I haven't heard. Nobody tells me anything. Is the because they had it all. They had they've got that 7-foot high fence. They had it all blocked off, and there was a ribbon, like one of those ribbons like you cut for the opening ceremony. Where's Steve? Where's Bob? Is the pool open tonight? What's going on? Nobody tells me anything. We'll wait till we get over there. But all right, let's go to SWL 48. SWL 49. And I've been so busy this week, I wasn't on the Wednesday night net. I wasn't able to get on the Friday night net, so I don't know who's been where or who's been doing what. Let's go to SWL 50.
Good night there, Mr. Dennis. Appreciate the net.
Hey, all right. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, I missed everybody on the Friday night net, but you are sounding good, so I have a check-in for you, and of course, Sweet Country Mama. Thanks for checking in the Old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 50.
Breaker.
The breaker, go ahead, over.
I had to help get a dog out of my backyard that wasn't supposed to be there. I missed my check-in. Can I check in?
Yeah, I got you checked in, and I figured you might be far away, but you might have the volume turned up, and I didn't want you to come screaming into the radio room and upset the dinner cart or something. So I have you checked in, but now you are officially checked in.
Okay, yeah, I had to go get in the car, go around the block, get on the other side, tell these people to get their dog, get him through the fence so I can button it back up.
All right, well, that's good. I hope you got the dogs that aren't supposed to be there. We have a lot of dogs here tonight that are supposed to be here on the Old Tube Radio Network, so make sure you don't let any of those escape. All right, thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis. We're out and listening.
Okay, let's go to SWL 51. I thought I heard Dr. Dave in from Sangertown earlier, but I see that you are up on the screen here digitally, so I will get you checked in. But you always do. You always beacon in great from your location here at the Old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 52. Shortwave listener 53.
Hello, Dennis. 53, checking in.
53, checking in. Mr. Belair, Bob, you are sounding good as you always do on a Saturday evening. Channel 11, the Old Tube Radio Network. We've got you checked in.
Thank you very much.
Who else is listening? I didn't go up the list. I got to the balcony and then I stopped. Chicago, Castle, Hain, Albury, Temecula, California is in there. Hello, Fresno, Dallas, Georgia, coming up to you. The unknown SWL. If you see someone with a bag over their head and a rubber duck antenna, you know it must be the unknown SWL. Squamish is around. It looks like they have the mobile cart and are serving. For those that don't want to make it to the green room, see Albert and the gang. They'll fix you up. Hello to Albertine, Woodland Park, Colorado, always beaconing in with the big antenna arrays pointed towards Central California, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Moncks Corner, South Carolina, Lode, San Francisco, Fresno, Inez, Kentucky. Who's in Inez tonight? What's going on in Inez, where it is 72 and clear? It looks. I think there's good weather all over the place. I don't think we'll have any reports of bad weather. Inez is a home rule class city in and the county seat of Martin County, Kentucky. The population was 717 in the 2010 census. What happened to the 2020 census? We were in that. Why can't we get, doggone it, why can't we get updated facts here on the Old Tube Radio Network? Back to the roll call, and we were looking for SWL 54. Mr. Board Jammer with the X in the square. Over to SWL 55.
55, checking in, Dennis.
Hey, sounding good. Was just down the hill from you guys up there at Meadow Lakes today. What a great day. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis. Sounding good.
I didn't bring any radio stuff. Sometimes I do, and sit at the edge of the hill and beacon down with a half watt on the HT, but didn't do that today. Over to SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
All right, Phil, we've got you checked in 8 in a row. Good deal. Thanks for checking in. Over to SWL 57. And 57 right there. Central Kentucky. Looking good. And he's happy to be back. Feeling better, yeah. You know, that stuff is bad news. And it gets you down. And like me, BDA is hoping to hear some good-sounding radios and glowing tubes. It's also got someone listening. Who is it? 396 in South Central Kentucky. Oh, maybe that was the station. Maybe that was our station near Inez. One of the 717 people out there. All right, we got you checked in, and all are welcome. Did I ever say that? You don't. This is not a club. We don't collect dues. You don't have to wear a hat. There's no secret handshake. It's just a voluntary association of people who are interested in old tube radio, citizen band radio, two-way radio, shortwave listening, you name it. If you've done it, you'll probably enjoy the old tube radio network. Let's go over to SWL 58. Jeremy, get him checked in. It was the Texas QSO party beaming in on 20 meters this afternoon, sounding pretty good. Over to SWL 59. Over to shortwave listener 60.
Thank you much, Dennis. A little update on the Fresno game, Fresno State game. Fresno State 6, UCLA nothing. It took them about 5 minutes to score. Anyway, SWL 60 checking in.
All right, sounding good. Thanks for the game update. I forget, just about every weekend, Saturday, there will be a game. I'm thinking they might be down at UCLA. When did they get in the same... Has Fresno State always been in the same league with UCLA, or that's kind of a new thing?
I think so. Yeah, they're not a new division.
Okay. What was the old thing that... I can't remember. Was it Stan Freeberg or Spike Jones about UCLA when the smog lifts? Although I think LA has less smog than we do. All right, thanks for the score update and back to it. Old Tube Radio Network looking for SWL 61. And my transmitter must not be working. Hello, Radio 67, because Dean's got like the best receiver in the world, and if he's out there, he'd be hearing me. I'll get Dino, I'll get Copenhagen checked in. And who is next? 62. It's King. King Duckford is in the house tonight. I saw him not only on Old Radio Night, but he was around somewhere here on the chat thing here on the Old Tube Radio Network, along with everybody, a lot of people in. 62's in. Cornbread is in, doing the Happy Feet thing. That's Mr. Cornbread. Hello, Joey L. Levon is also Mr. Rainmaker out there in the Hudson Valley is listening in as well. Popcorn 913, enjoying the popcorn from the cart from the Squamish guys and a host of others. Hope you're enjoying the tube radios when they check in. Let's go over to SWL 63. All right, King Duckford is going to start the bonfire. Going to have the bonfire. I don't know what you put in the bonfire. Hopefully it's not it's not the old tube radios. They don't burn that well. Some of those newer plastic radios might burn, but some old furniture. Some of this furniture here in my side would work well in the bonfire. Over on the other side, where they have everything nice and fancy, I don't think that stuff burns very well. Putting an X in the square for King Duckford. Mr. Butterbean 63 is in. Let's try SWL 64. SWL 65.
65 checking in.
All right, boy, good signals, good signals. I keep if you ever watch the replay, I try to keep the S meter up for when you're checking in, your little check-in things up at the top. But you watch the video, the S meter on the less than stellar receiver here is there, so you can always watch the playback and give yourself a radio check. Over to SWL 66. Yeah, the e-waste. 62, the e-waste is not a good thing to burn. The air pollution, at least here in California, the Air Pollution Control District would not be happy with that. Let's see, no 66. How about SWL 67? And I know 67 is here because he let me in the door, as always, to set up things here. And like I said, there is a lot of activity happening here tonight. I see a lot of people outside. I bet the pool is open. Nobody told me. I'm going to have to go out there. I'm going to have to go out there and see what is going on over poolside. How come I don't know these things? Why am I last to know? Let's go to SWL 68. SWL 69. I will get Kenny checked in. I didn't see him earlier. He may have some things to do early in the morning, but Tulsa, Oklahoma will be in watching the video. So, Kenny, hello to you from Bulldog Country. Then, let's see, 69, 70. Hello, SWL 70, over.
Here.
Oh, you got to say more than that.
Present.
All right. See, Mark he's not a contester, but he does do QRP work where you do have to keep your transmissions short just in case the band goes out. But we're line of sight, so I think we should be okay. Anyway, you are sounding good. I was up at Meadow Lakes this afternoon, and everything was just marvelous up there, except for the doggone smoke.
Yeah, it's pretty bad everywhere. We just went up today up to Potter Pass up in Kaiser, and you can't see anything. It's at least to the north anyway. But anyway, yeah, I got to be careful. Yeah, I'm trying to save my batteries. Over.
That's the way to do it. All right, you're logged in. You're 5 and 9 and sounding good. We were at 4,500 feet at Meadow Lakes, and you could not see to the next ridge. It didn't seem to be too bad up there. I mean, nobody was choking, but man, it's just the valley floor is pretty awful. And then I think when I'm down here, it's not too bad. No, it is pretty bad. All right, thanks for checking in and check the battery. I hope you're at least 12.8.
Thanks, man.
All right, 70's in. Cornbread, I got you. He's got his flotillas on and he's ready to swim. I'm not ready at all because no one told me that the pool is open or closed, but I'm thinking the way I see people dressed around here that maybe it is open. We will check it out. Over to SWL 71, Stan. And Stan is checking in from Dallas, Georgia. I was hearing, let me bring up the HF. I was hearing Texas beaconing, booming in on 20 meters, but the sun is down here. There's somebody there.
You're starting to put a little bit too much weight on, and then test the noise gate out.
That doesn't sound like Texas. 14,215. Don't know who.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, darling, I've ordered 3. If I'm not here on Tuesday, there should be 3 new radios turning up. That'll test the noise gate. Trust me. Have a good one, Tony. Cheers.
What do you think we got? The VKs? The ZLs in?
You can't try that, Dave. Can you? Because you can just buy what you want without the wife worrying over.
Yeah, I bet we're listening to some of the VK ZLs if they're on 20 meters. The band is long. All right, Stan, we've got you in. Let's go to SWL 72. SWL 73. Shortwave listener 74.
Frank RKR.
Hey, there he is, and I'm on the same page. The break OTR, go ahead, over.
51 checking in. I'm having a hard time hearing tonight, Dennis.
Okay, that's what I thought. You've got the best receiver on earth, so I'm not doing a good job tonight. Anyway, you are checked in. Dean, thanks for listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Over.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Copenhagen there, SWL 61 for those playing the home game.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead.
24, checking in.
All right, it must be halftime. Anyway, all right, Joseph, we got you checked in. Let me go up the list and get 24 checked in, the Old Tube Radio Network. Or maybe everybody's out at the pool. Maybe that's it. I'm going to have to check that out. We are on page... What page you went? Page 3. We're going to be turning the page soon. We were at 74... Did I call? 75.
Barbecue.
BBQ. That's where I was today. We had a nice barbecue up at the Meadow Lakes area. Ken does a great... They do this tri-tip thing where they marinate them in beer and Cajun stuff, which I don't like, and all the other stuff I don't like, but they're very tasty. If you like tri-tip marinated, then we have a lot of stuff. Let's try SWL 77. I'll get Dennis checked in. There were 3 Dennises out there earlier on the frequency. That never happens. So if you're listening from afar there, 1017, I got you checked in. Over to SWL 78. Richard down there in Wildemar. I thought I saw Temecula. I always think Temecula is Wildemar, but it might not be. Anyway, hello to Temecula and Wildemar might be there. Sometimes people check in on the chat and it scrolls past and I miss them. And then when I go back and check, everybody is good. So where are we going? SWL 79. Over to SWL 80. And the band is getting quiet. What's coming up? Bob and Steve. You know what I'm going to do before I go over to Bob and Steve? I want to see. I'll just stay keyed up. I'm going to get the remote microphone. Hold on. I got to get all these cords off. I got to see what is going on, if the pool is open or not, and why I don't know about it. So I will be. I'll take the remote mic. We'll see what happens. I will be right back. All right, sorry about that. Let me put the headphones down. I'm gonna stay keyed up. I'll be right back. I just have to run out the door and out. When I went by, it was all covered up. There was a big ribbon. On everything. All right, I'll be right back. I want to see what's going on with the pool. I can't believe they didn't tell me that the pool was happening. All right, tell me what's happening here. Let me just open up the back door here and see what it's beautiful. Why didn't I know about this? This is beautiful. Hey, what are you doing? No, let go. Wait, no. That was totally uncalled for. If you think that was funny, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's not funny at all. Everything is wet. The headphones are wet. Oh, man. All right. Hold on a second. Real funny, guys. You don't tell me that the pool is open. Hold on. Thanks, Chet. All right. Chet's he's got a towel for me here. All right. You know what? Hang on just a second. I will be right back, and we will continue on. Real funny. Real funny.
Dennis, when you get back, I got to ask something. Yeah.
All right, is everything? I'm back. I do not want to get the equipment wet. You are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. I think. What are we at? We're on page 4. Oh, it's okay. Now let me ask them to explain themselves here. Bob and Steve.
27.0850 TR channel 11.
The Bob and Steve show. All right, September 18th, 2021. And yeah, I think I already know what they're going to say. The Jingle Singers are coming to OTR from poolside tonight. Yeah. And when I went out there to check it, of course, I got thrown into the pool. And they didn't tell me it was open. Thanks, guys. Maybe we won't be hearing the Jingle Singers tonight. Each of the 33 tables with umbrellas is equipped with underground 6-volt DC and 12-volt DC and 110-volt AC. 110-volt AC, full side lines, no 220. No, we don't want. Look at that. The tie is wet. All right. Well, at least I didn't run into the. I didn't run into the 110-volt lines tonight. What else is going on? The umbrellas look nice. The umbrellas look nice from under the water. Let's see, what else? Match is 1-to-1, good. The aluminum coax feed, perfect for the antennas. That's 9 feet. It's a good, what is it, like a hex beam, but not quite like a hex beam. Good on the 1-to-1 match. Maybe that's why. Am I running off the umbrellas tonight? Maybe that's why people aren't hearing me tonight. Table 33 has a line coax to a 60-foot 6-element beam to 27085. 33, where is it? 33 right here tonight. Eddie installed lighting, LED lighting powered solar cells. Lights on at 8, off at 12. The Costco card does it again. Costco has a lot of LED stuff, but you've got to be careful because the LED stuff will put in noise. In fact, I have to turn off my LED porch lights when I do the program here because of that very thing. At the pool tonight, don't tell me what's at the pool tonight. At the pool tonight, from Fresno's finest, the Palms on North Palm Avenue. I've never been there. They won't let me go on North Palm Avenue up above Herndon. Join us after the net. Don't forget to feed the fish. And if you go to the pool, do not get near the Jingle Singers. All right, I'll be right back. This is your Old Tube Radio Network.
27.0850 TR channel 11.
Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis, over.
Yeah, hey, Ray cannot hear you at all up there. He said the last few times you've done it, you just keep getting weaker and weaker. He says he can't hear you at all. He hears me and Dennis, other Dennis on there, but he says he can't hear you at all.
Yeah, everybody's having problems. Let me see if I'm on the right antenna. I think they hooked me up to the umbrellas. I'm on number 3. Checking the power output here. Hello, radio test. Hello, 6-7. I'm at my nominal. I'm at my nominal nothing watts. Let's put on the REA meter. Hello, test. Oh, wait a minute. The REA meter isn't working. Why am I transmitting? Wait a minute. That should be working. What's going on here? Oh, you know what? Did the plug come out? There we go. All right. Probably when I went stumbling in, all drenched, I unplugged the REA, but that's not going to have anything to do with the signal. But anyway, that lets me know I'm getting out. All right. Well, thanks for the report. Someday, we'll take the Costco card and we'll buy me a station. What do you think?
There you go. But anyway, he sent me another text here. He says, Sanger, Reedley, Dinuba is zero signal. I used to have Dennis at 5x9. Now he doesn't even exceed static level. So anyway, I'm just letting you know. Anyway, I just tell you what, I just passing on what he's going me to let you know. So anyway, thank you, Dennis.
All right. Well, I've said maybe it's the window cadaver. I've said for the last 10 years that I'm going to be doing something to the station. So maybe that is good. At some point when nobody can hear me, I will be forced to get one of those stations like JT has, where no matter what he keys up, somebody can hear him in some state. All right. Well, thanks for the report. I will make a note. We'll work on it. Maybe even just 5 feet of antenna height. I always thought if you're wet, maybe it grounds things better. I don't know. I want to get through the roll call here so we can check in some tube radios. 80s checked in. Oh, okay. SWL 81, and Steve is in. Steve, in fact, I stumbled across. What did I do with it? Oh yeah, I stepped on something, and it was a crystal. It must have fallen out of the box from Steve a couple weeks ago. So Steve Areno, Mr. Unicorn, you are checked in. Over to it's actually kind of refreshing being all wet. SWL 82.
82, checking in from the Ditch Banks of Iowa, and quite a production tonight, Dennis. Well said, Flint. So anyway, with that, good evening to everybody from the Ditch Banks of Iowa.
He's distorted.
Yeah. Don't encourage them, Ron. People think, hey, they like it when he gets thrown in the pool. No, we do not like it when we get thrown in the pool. Oh, by the way, like I said, I've been busy all week, so I missed the Ditch Banks sideband net on Friday, 8 o'clock, 36 lower. How is that going? Over.
It's going pretty good. I forget what we're up to, about 63 check-ins at some time or another. So anyway, I hear you just fine out here. So that's good for me. No static tonight, and the good old Ditch Bank SSB net is moving right along.
That's better.
All right, good deal. So catch it if you can. Everybody's invited on Friday nights on your sideband radio, whether it's tubes or solid state or whatever. Maybe it's one of those other not accepted radios that we won't talk about. That's perfectly acceptable on the Ditch Banks sideband net. Thanks for checking in.
All right, take care.
All right, was there a breaker for OTR?
Yeah, there was, but you haven't gotten my number yet, so I guess I'll wait.
All right, yeah. So we had a little bit of a mishap here tonight, so things are a little bit slow, but we're getting there. Over to SWL 83. SWL 84, I will get Jerry, Cheerios Kid, is the, oh, it is working. The on-the-air sign, thanks to Jerry and his family for that. I'm kind of no wonder I couldn't see it. I'm blocking it. Why is it way over there? But anyway, thanks to 84 for that. Over to SWL 85. Can't check in if I don't unkey. We'll get check-ins for SWL 86, SWL 87, and SWL 88. That's Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl, respectively. Over to SWL 89, SWL 90, SWL 91, SWL 91. Felix, who was in, as always, in early on the video side. And Felix, I have a great picture of the Felix mobile that drives around Fresno, and the person that has it keeps forgetting to send it to me. When I get it, we'll post it here. Felix has even got he posts, I don't know what you call them, icons, pictures. There's a name for those little things that he does. He's got the check like he always does, and then he's got the water waves apropos for tonight, and then he's got the Bozo, the Clown for the Baker Oscar, the Zulu Oscar. Thanks, Felix. Over to SWL 92, SWL 93. SWL 95, Warthog 95, Whiskey Romeo 4, Bravo, checking in from Orlando, Florida. And good evening, everyone. What's the humidity in Orlando? I don't think you're on my list. The humidity here is 100% in the air chair tonight. Thanks for checking in. And Dennis. Dennis 3, Super Duper Dennis, SWL 96. I don't know if you're still in the mobile, but I heard you perfectly before the program here, so I'm checking you in, Mr. Prune Picker out of Kerman.
Yeah, Hunter to check in on my Star Power mobile radio. Hello, everybody. Hope you have a good weekend, and hope you hear me.
I am hearing you great. I was about to say the same thing. I hope you are hearing me. So we've got you checked in, and thanks for the extra effort, Mobile, to hear us all tonight.
Okey-doke. You have a good evening.
Directing that roll call, the tube radios are coming up. Do not get your tube radios next to the swimming pool. Although the way Bob and Steve have got everything set up with the 12 volt and the 6 volt, 110 volt, and the umbrella antennas, you can have your radios next to the pool. Just be aware of the jingle singers. Over to SWL 97. And there's Boston 97 checking in, listening in stereophonic high fidelity on the Admiral 6B25 push-pull amp. All right, for those of you who are listening in stereo tonight, let me do a little, here's a little test for those who want to check stereo. So, hello. All right. Now, I believe if you were listening in stereo, I should be over on the left side. Hello. And then we'll walk over, hello, to the right side. Now, those listening over the air, 27085, aren't hearing any of this. They're wondering what, they're thinking maybe the water has affected my brain. All right, well, there you go. That's the stereo test tonight. I hope it's working well. So 97 is in. Over to SWL 98. Tracy, you should be in. Where did I thought I just saw you. Yes, checking in. 73 to Dennis in the net. Thanks, Tracy, and thanks for your for the 101 and the history on that last week. And you mentioned Rod and Auberry. Man, I haven't. He was early days of the old Tube Radio Network. Let's go over to SWL 99.
Dennis, is that Robert Tentmaker?
That is Robert Tentmaker. Over.
Okay, let's give him a proxy.
Okay, I will do that. Adam says the stereo is working well. Good. It's good to know that something is working. Thumbs up from John F. on the stereo. Let me get proxy check in. Next is SWL 100. Let me check with Tony. He was in earlier, and I've got to see if this is for my purpose. I'm going to see if the Echo Link was affected by the water. Let's see if Tony is listening in. KD4BAO, KB6GFD is still there. Tony, for a quick check-in. Over. Checking out the Echo Link here tonight in the old Tube Radio Network. See what's working. Whatever it's 354870. All right, it's still in there. All right, thanks, Tony. You are sounding good. KB6GFD. Echo Link is up and running. 100 is checked in. Over to SWL 103. And I promise I will get to all the radios tonight. Taking a little bit longer, but that's okay. I may need a minute or two between between the shifts here tonight to get dried out. SWL 109. Shortwave listener 110. He's out in Millerton Lake. Maybe he's a little bit washed up, a little bit wet tonight too. SWL 111. Where's Robert? I didn't even hear him prior. I'm gonna give Robert a proxy check, and usually I hear him before the program. Over to SWL 113. SWL 114. I know a lot of people are out. If they're watching the game, maybe the game got interesting. Maybe people are out because the weather is so great doing stuff. Let's go to 128. If I check my pages here, John he checked in about an hour ago. Maybe he had an early call. Anyway, if you're listening, John, out there in Fairfax, Virginia, we've got you checked in. SWL 131.
Hey, 131 right here.
131 sounding good on your old tube radio network, beaconing on the YouTube video and everywhere else on the Universal Media Net web at oldtuberadio.net. Thanks for checking in.
All right, thanks, Dennis.
Did I say don't forget to feed the fish? It was sort of a quick in and out in the pool. I didn't see if there were actually any fish to feed when I was floating around. Although I do say the lights, the lighting they put in the pool is very nice. I was able to see the bubbles coming out of my mouth when I was floating back up. Over to SWL 133. Shortwave listener 135. Oh boy, I hope the radio didn't go away. He was testing a great radio, so I will give 135 a proxy check-in and hope that he will be back when we start glowing in the dark. We're doing some tweaking and peaking. The radio sounded good. They made a couple adjustments, and it even sounded better. SWL 137. Up to Tony, SWL 145.
Yeah, good evening, Dennis. You sounded real good tonight up in Corso. And that other Dennis on that $10 radio mobile out there in Kermans was making a fine trip to Corso. I don't know if he still listens. Just wanted to pass that on because he was still listening.
Okay, yeah, he's got one of those mobiles like the Mini Grass guys. It sounded pretty good here tonight as well. Also, I was going to ask you quickly because my schedule changed and I'm not able to jump in on Friday mornings like I used to. Is the early risers net is still going on, right? Tony, can you copy over? All right, for a brief fleeting moment, I was heard even up in the hills, but now no one's hearing me. Let's go to SWL 147. Neil up in Kakalaki, who is around, because I did see his beacons on my my scroll-up page somewhere, and I will find that at some point and tell you what's going on tonight with 147. Let's go over to SWL 188. Now I got to check if Bobby's got the Gizmochi beam's not pointed my way, he probably won't hear me at all. So. In fact, I watched a video, what do they call it, a video gate or a water gate of somebody, and it was 188 in the Central Valley. So he's on one of those video gates doing good stuff. And let's go up to Course Gold, SWL 195. All right, thanks for the report, and likewise beaconing here into the flatlands of Fresno tonight with nary a problem. Thanks for checking in. And then over to SWL 226. All right, I'll get our proxy check in for Mr. Shockwave. All right, anybody else before I'm going to take a quick break. I know we're a little bit behind and get reset up here, and we will check in some tube radios, no doubt.
135.
Hey, 135 is working now. I just missed you on the SWLs here moments ago, but I thought you might have getting everything shored up there from the peak and tweak. I hear you. Over.
Okay, SWL 135 checking in.
All right, sounding good. All right, don't go away. Give me 2 or 3 minutes. I will be back. We're going to switch over for the tube radios. I want to say hello to S9 Radio. Greg is listening in. The OTR group, waving a hand. Yeah, we do not have the cloud. The cloud is gone from last week. At least I'm not hearing it. Greg would know if it's somewhere around, but I don't think it is. Anyway, thanks for listening in, and I will be right back. So we're going to fire up those classic tube radios on the old tube radio network. Back in a moment.
find us on your TV. Because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
And I hope that those running tube radios will be able to hear me tonight. But the main thing is going to be if we can hear you. And that is what I'm here to do, to make sure that we can hear all the tube radios that want to get checked in as much as possible. All right, I've kind of dried off a little bit. You know, jumping not being thrown into a pool of chlorine does not do much for the hair, but the program, the show will go on. All right, OTR is standing by, and we are listening for your tube radio check-ins.
135, 135.
All right, I've got 135. Who else was in there? Wait, was there another station that was also wanting to check in?
45.
And 45 as well. All right, Paul, you will be radio number 2. I will be right with you, so stand by. Keep the tubes warm, and at 9:12 Pacific Daylight Time in Central California, Mr. Green Arrow, step up into the air chair, Cliff, and I am ready to take your call. Over.
Okay, good. I hope I am ready to make the call. Hello. Okay, yeah, once again, I am a little bit low in frequency. This is SWL 135 on from the Sonar Radio Corporation. This is the Sonar Model E. It's from Brookline, New York. Let's see, this thing has 8 channels, but you can listen to all 23 channels on the VFO. This is the original Sonar handheld plastic unamplified type microphone. And this one also has the Sonar meter. It's a signal strength meter. And that's all it does, is allows me to see how good people are getting in here. So back to you.
I hope I'm getting in good. I'm going to make a few audio adjustments. Radio testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I'm just trying to adjust some stuff here and make everybody sound good. You, me, and all, without getting audio distortion here tonight. All right. I've sort of scrunched, for those who are looking at the video on the YouTube, I've scrunched the picture a little bit. I've changed the aspect ratio to scrunch the picture so I can get the Sonar meter in as well on the Model E, but I believe this is the radio from Cliff's collection that we are actually hearing, so I wanted to get the picture in there. Great audio. We'll do a frequency check again. I'm not sure when you were doing the on-air tweaking, what you guys were tweaking, but the audio is good, the signal is good, it sounded good before. I think you seem to be happy with whatever your magic screwdriver did, so back to take a transmission. This is a pretty cool radio for, believe it or not, came out in the early 1960s. Over.
Yeah, somewhere around 1961, 1962. So it's pretty old as far as these things go. It's one of the earlier ones. I'm not sure if it's the first one though. Do you know if there was a Model A?
That is a good question. Let me actually go. I'm going to go back to the Rolodex and just see if I have, there's a model. I'm going to click on it. I could blow the thing up. There's something called a Model D. All right, I'm going to put up the Model D, and it is nothing as grand as what you have there. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channel, no S meter. It's got the Sonar logo, Model D, or Sonar Radio Corporation, Brooklyn, New York. So we can go with a Model D, but then you would think, well, maybe there was a Model A. But I'm showing in my Rolodex, the earliest item was a Model D, although there were other numbered models over.
Okay, I've always been curious about that. I've never noticed it in the SAMs. It's in SAMs, this one, the Model E is in SAMs number 3, so it's pretty early on, in the paperwork. I think I forgot to mention this has 9 tubes. Has a flashing modulation light, which is actually the antenna light, to let you know signal is getting through the antenna, but it flashes when you talk. It's supposed to do that. Now, let's see. I can't think of much more to say about it. I am a bit low on frequency. Hello, and it's not putting out that much power. The magic screwdriver is trying to adjust that frequency, the transmit frequency, and there was no success. But oddly enough, I did get a couple of more watts out of it.
It looked like it helped with the forward movement. So you're not, you can push those so you have no headroom, but it looks like you might have hit the sweet spot. Let me go back to the full page again. And hey, keep this in mind for next month, because I know if you're around, you usually do. And I don't have the advanced program scheduled for the old tube radio check-ins, but the Saturday night close to Halloween, someone made a comment. Who was it? 23 Skidoo says it's got Halloween colors on the Model D. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This radio could be the end of the October, make another appearance, and we can put it in the, they called it the aspect ratio 10:4. It's not 4:3. It's not 16:9. That's right. All of our radios are in the 10:4 aspect ratio. So go ahead with another transmission. I've got Paul is standing by, but I'll go ahead and recheck the frequency. But you're sounding good. I'm centered here at 27085. Back to you.
Okay. It's like you got a gut wide receive then, because this thing has been reading pretty low, not just on my frequency count, but on everybody else's as well. And I will hopefully have my Halloween radio ready to go next month. I'm working on those now. So thanks for letting me check this in. This one here only has 8 channels, but 9 tubes. And my receive VFO drifts a bit, I noticed. So I'm listening to you right now on the crystals. You can either transmit and receive on crystals, or transmit on crystals and receive on the VFO. So at least you have that choice. I'll probably listen to the rest of the tonight's show on the VFO. It sounds a little bit better. Maybe it's a little bit more accurate in frequency when I tweak it in. But with that, I'll let you take it to Paul up there up in the hills. Incidentally, in case you're curious, you are 20 over on the sonar meter, which is special for this radio. I think the Model G actually came with a meter, but this one, it was an extra. Okay, and with that, we'll see you next time.
Great, thanks for bringing it by. I put the picture back up, and there's the sonar meter and add-on that I bet a lot of people who have this radio would love to have, and I'm up there at 20 into the red, and that wasn't too uncommon for the early radios to have a variable tuning. That's the knob. I love those knobs with the cross hatches, and this is a really kind of a mid-modern deco-style radio, I guess. And I'm not sure if the tuning, like I said, it's more selective or sensitive when it's on the variable or not. As you can see, or if you can't see, there's a switch between, like I said, between tune and crystal, and then you can use one of the 8-channel crystal control. Obviously, your transmit has to be crystal controlled as well. Did the frequency thing. You have very good audio. When I go to sideband, your audio does not drop off at all. The loudness on the AM carries to the sideband, so that's got some real nice audio. And yeah, I can tune down to 27080 and still detect you. And then I lose you at about 27086, which is about right, because you're just a hair above 27080. 083 on the audio. Radio number 1 from Green Arrow Cliff on his Sonar Model E with the ever-popular Sonar Extra S-meter, sounding good. The old Tube Radio Network. And at 9:21, notice how I didn't go to the Jingle Singers. See, then throw the net control in the pool, and then see what happens to your jingles the rest of the evening. Hello, Paul, 45, over.
Hi, Dennis. Hope you're getting any water in your microphone. All right. I want to check in my general radio telephone BB-30.
All right, let me go to general radio telephone and BB-30. I think someone had asked a question on one of the Facebook pages. Was it about a BB-30? It might have been, the business band radio that Browning puts out. And somebody making a comment, if you're listening, Cliff, someone made a comment that the meter the meter on the sonar is bigger than the speaker on the radio, which is true. All right, let me get the full page. There we go. What a beautiful radio. Very simple, but nice looking. Business band. I guess with business band, you don't need a lot of stuff. You just need a channel or two. So back to you for transmission. Tell us about the General Radio Telephone BB-30, which I do believe stands for some type of business band designation. Over.
Okay. Well, this thing, it puts out a little bit more than most of the regular radios, but it's because it's a business band radio. And I pushed probably about 25 on the thing, which is normal for it. And it's supposed to be on the channel 27420. That's where the channel was on for the business band. Neat radio, not anything exaggerated as far as any switches to turn or nothing like that. Real simple. That's what you want for a business band radio. It's got the great ECLL800 tube, which helps it a little bit. Back to you.
Yeah, helps it a lot. My guess is that probably is why that tube was there for the business band radio, and they just fired it back, or made the RF output work to get type accepted for the Class D stuff, but then you'd open it up full for the business band radio. And of course, the general radio telephones, non-business ones, had the extra channel for the Civil Air Patrol. This is from 1965, so I'm thinking this is probably in line with like a Super MC8, perhaps, because the MC5 was 1963. General Radio Telephone BB-30, 9-tube, 25 watts output business band radios. You mentioned the radio has two channels, as you mentioned. The earlier BB-30 has only one channel, and it was designed for 27420. So, yeah, what was the legal output for the business band? 27420, which is even above channel 40, and this is well before 1965. Is well before 76 when they went to 40 channels. Let's see. It also has the ECL800 tube, and they used a ceramic microphone built by Turner. Good deal. Give us another transmission. I think a lot of people would. I wonder how many of these wound up on channel 6. I wonder how many of these radios back in the early days of the Super Bowl, before it was the Super Bowl, wound up with someone's favorite frequency into an amplifier to do some really great stuff. Radio number 2 sounding good. Back to you for transmission.
Okay, it's not the original microphone of the thing. Of course, it didn't come with it. That's my luck. So I put another mic on it, still a Turner, but it's an M+2U mic. So it's a little bit powerful. It's an amplified microphone, and it seems to like it okay. Anyway, that's all I got on it. Thanks for checking it in.
Hey, thanks for bringing it by. And I've got a tube complement. I'll have to compare it to like the MC8, because it's got the ECLL800. It also has the 12AX7A and a complement of others. And they list it as a 10-watt output, or maybe it's a 10-watt input, so maybe business band was twice of what the Class D was. Radio number 2. Thanks for General Radio Telephone BB30 and the old Tube Radio Network is standing by listening for Radio 3. Over. And I wonder how the Bulldogs are doing against UCLA.
Now, if Joe had his radio up, he could tell you.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the game must have gotten interesting. All right, I just got a note from the front office saying that I guess we have contractual obligations to at least have one or two jingle singers happening throughout the evening. So against my better judgment, we'll be back in about 30 seconds. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
The station for you is
OTR.
And we are listening for radio number 3. And there's 60. And Cornbread, I think probably 90%, 75% of the radios that we check in are probably made in the USA, but late 60s, the Panasonic chassis out of Japan. This is long before there were Chinese radios coming in. Are not that uncommon, and that's probably why we don't have a Browning or a Tram or anything like that. Because of the proliferation of the import radios that were very, very cheap to make, at least in those days. 60, thanks for standing by while I just talk on and on about nothing, but tell me what you got over.
No, it's okay. We did have an update for you on the Fresno State game. It looks like Fresno State is leading, but we'll get back to that. And my Johnson Messenger 223, I think it's warm enough anyway. At least I think so. I hope I can make it over this noise level.
Well, I would say I hope I can make it over your noise level, because my noise floor is low tonight. We don't have the E-skip cloud like we had last week, so I'm looking for a picture of the 223 so I can pop up into the thing. And then I just realized I have one, and it's not even turned on. Hold on. Let me do this here. I'm caught up in my headphone cord. Can we see it? Okay, the lighting, we're going to do the lighting of the... I got to remember which knob to turn, which is the on-off control. The lighting of the E.F. Johnson here at Bozo Control, at Network Control. There it is. Looking really nice. And then over to you for yours. Over.
We thank you much, Dennis. We did clean it up today on the face side. Really looking nice. Lights are nice and bright. And doggone it, we are on the original Johnson desk mic, non-battery, of course. And nothing to report on the back side of it, but the front side is definitely a winner.
And the audio as well. I've got, and I'll bring it in. I've got an original Johnson desk mic, so we can do a shot on that. You know what I like about it? It looks like a Plus 2, right? You ever had the Plus 2 desk? But it doesn't have the knob, the audio control, and it doesn't have the little thing on the bottom for a battery. And I think that's a good thing. It just makes it real clean. And you know what? This is yours. It's a heavy, solid mic, right?
Oh yeah, it is. In fact, it took me a while to get away from that old, adjustment knob on the microphone. I looked for it all the time, because I thought it was, every time I got on it, I thought it was a Turner mic. But that it's not. And features on it are cool. It has a volume and a squelch, but the squelch is what turns it on. And the volume is for your volume. And for a while there, when I first got it, it had me a bit confused because I was too much on the volume. I mean, on the squelch, I would turn the radio on and forget it was the squelch, and almost I had no sound. So I had to, kind of practice it and got used to it. Now we know we jump on it, we turned it on, and then we work the volume at that point.
That's the way to go. In fact, I got the close-up here, and they give you a clue, and it's hard to see because it's at the bottom of the control, but there's an OFF. And I had to do a double take on mine when I went back there to turn it on because I couldn't remember. But it's just squelch, but there's an OFF down at the bottom. But it's depending on how you have it on your radio tape, it's a little hard to see. I'm going to do something, and this is the bad camera. This camera's sort of conked out on me here, but I'm going to go to the wacky close-up camera. All right, there it is. This is the microphone that Joe is using, and there's the Johnson control. You can see if you go to the bass. I'm showing the bass for those that don't have the video. There's this nice and solid. There's a little trap door for the battery, and the Johnson control and the Johnson logo. Do you still have the little Johnson? Do you have the little Johnson meatball logo in the center of your mic element over?
Oh yeah, most definitely. The Johnson mic is right on the face of the microphone, on the element itself, and the little shark fin top, which kind of reminds me of that Turner Plus 2. And you're right about that squelch saying off at the very, very bottom. So that is your on and off switch. And most crazy is that, like I say, you turn it on, and just click it on, and then go for the volume for your sound.
Yeah, and away it goes, but just don't turn it. Don't think it's the volume, which most people would, because it's on-off, and keep turning it, and like I have done with my Messenger. All of a sudden, you think it's the volume, and the sound goes away. All right, before we go, I'm going to go back to my other camera. You mentioned that, I didn't think of that. I didn't look at that. You mentioned that finned top. Now, that is a real 1950s kind of classic style, a la your Chryslers and your Cadillacs and your, 57 Chevys with the fins. Or who is that little character on, Take Me to Your Leader that has a little finned head? But anyway, some classic 1950s styling with the fins on your radio. Back to you for another transmission. We'll be listening here on the Gold Tube Radio Network.
Thank you much, Dennis. Yeah, this is a 10-tube radio, and it is a bass. The Johnson Messenger is a bass radio, strictly AC. Okay, thank you, Dennis, and we'll get another one warmed up.
37.
All right, you'll be number 4, Chris. Yeah, looking on the Rolodex here, in Sam's photo fax number 23, page 53, and it only lists at 115 volt AC, meaning there is no DC conversion cord. Radio sold for $200, and it says with the mic, so I guess you could get it without the mic. I don't think I've ever seen it pictured in a catalog without the microphone. The microphone was another $15. Well worth it. Thanks for the Johnson, E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, a classic radio for them from 1969 to 1972, and I think that was their last tube radio. Everything after that was solid state, and they had some 123s and 323s and some other radios that were all solid state for the mobile. But if you're looking for a first radio for your collection, this would be a way to go. Marvin the Martian, thanks, John. I couldn't think of the Warner Brothers character that would always harass Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny, but now that I look at that microphone, that's what I'm thinking of. I'll probably not even close. And trams use that mic also on their old tube radios. Thanks to Levon for that. Radio number 4, stepping up into the air chair now at 9:35. I will stop talking so that we can hear Chris take a transmission.
Hey, Dennis. Well, I want to check in my biggest radio I got here. Well, I don't know. It's heavy anyway. I want to check in my general radio telephone, Super MC11A, 24-channel version of this here. And it's got that little man in the wheelchair up there with his IV and whatnot. And we run this here with the, I believe it's the original stock microphone on it. And anyway, it seems to be working.
It's working well. It's working great. I'm looking at your microphone, and it doesn't seem to have any fins coming out of the top. It's the standard. Where's the close-up? It is the standard issue teardrop. Could be mobile-style microphone. I just think how it would work if you could put a fin on there.
Well, it don't get hot though.
Yeah, well, the microphone doesn't get hot. As always, great audio. Radio seems to be working. You have, there's some controls on there. You've got radio and you've got the bullhorn, so obviously you're in radio. Have you ever tried the bullhorn? Have you ever connected a speaker, an external speaker, and put it out the window and shouted at anybody?
No, but I've turned it on in here and just keyed down and says, I turned it off real quick.
Okay, well, I'm thinking there must be some type of a external speaker jack or something that it needs to be its bullish hornium self. In and out, A&L. Oh, have you tried the A&L? How does the A&L work?
A&L, let's see which one is it. I gotta find it here. A&L, it's not, let me see, I'll tell you. It just gets quieter when I push it down.
All right, well, probably would work in a mobile situation, because I think this radio can go mobile, I'm not sure. Distance and local range. We've tried that before. That's on your receive only, and then the HF tone in and out, and I can't remember. We tried that, and I don't think much of anything happened. It is 24 channels, the 24th channel being what would be or should be the Civil Air Patrol channel down at 26 point something.
Yeah, well, I dropped the switch there for distance and local. I go local, boy, your signal drops way down, but if I go, that even gives me, I just kick that switch up to distance. That gives me more power out, too. I see it now. We're looking here. That's with distance. That is local. I actually dropped in power. Can you believe that? I did not know it. I had this radio, I don't know how many years I've never mentioned that, so we'll put it right back up here where it belongs.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's showing on the panel meter. It may be fooling you, because I don't see any difference on my estimator. What's going on with the lights? The lights are going off and on here. Do we have water in the lighting circuits? So it looks the same, sounds the same with the switch there, so it must be something on your end, but whatever you've got, as always, it sounds good. Radio 4, 935, I will log it in, and the general radio telephone Super MC11A from the early 1970s, and I think the last of general radio telephones type accepted radio using the ECLL 800 and the 9 tubes that is very similar to the BB30 businessman radio from 1965 that Paul brought in earlier. You can find out more about this if you've got a Sam's CB22 on page 45, but all you need to know is the thing is doggone loud. Thanks, Chris. Back to you for transmission. Thanks for bringing it by.
No problem. I'll bring it back whenever possible.
All right, a good deal. And we've got some wind. I'm looking at the floor and the phone out. Maybe I've got a power thing. The lights are flashing over on the other side there, and we got some wind coming up. I think are we in a high pressure, low pressure? So who knows? It's 9:40. So if I can hold on for another 20 minutes, we'll see if the power stays on. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network, and we're listening for. Thanks, Chris. We're listening for Radio 5.
Number 7.
5.
Hey, number 7, you will be Radio 5. And Paul, if you can hear me, you will be Radio 6 after Ed. So stand by, and I hope your power is doing okay where you are, Ed. I've got lights flashing off and on here, but I think I've got a bad circuit somewhere.
Yeah, everything's working here so far.
All right, very good. All right, take a transmission on your Radio 5. I know I'm looking in the B, in the Browning Laboratories on the Rolodex, but I'm not exactly sure which B L it's going to be. Over.
Yes, good old Browning Laboratories. The Browning Golden Eagle, Mark III SSB with the static Golden Eagle microphone.
All right, I should know by now from that audio which one it is, because they both the two that you have a distinctive sound and a distinctive ping. We'll go with what says a Browning Eagle advertisement, but I know I've got a better shot that has the microphonium. So take a transmission, and I'll find the right picture here.
There you go, good old two-piece radio on the air light below the old Eagle there. And, yep, 23-channel transmit and receive. Don't have the external VFO to get to the other channels, but, yeah, it listens up well above the 40 channels. So I can listen there, just can't talk there.
All right, well, you could listen into the Ditch Banks sideband net. But that's true, you wouldn't be able to join in on the transmit, although that receiver, I don't know if you've ever matched it to the solid state radio that you would use up there on the distant far out stations. I bet it would actually give that one a run for its money.
There you go. Yeah, the receiver is definitely very nice. I'll have to do that sometime. Check it out, see what it does.
Yeah, the best way to do it is you got to get listen to the stations. Have it on an AB switch, and then listen to the stations that are far away. So I don't know. I'm not sure if the great AM receiver transmits to a great sideband receiver as well on that. If they share the same stuff, you're just putting in the product detector or whatever, and cutting out the AM carrier. Sounds good. Mr. S9 would know. He knows a lot about those style of radios. Radio number 5, the Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. The birds, our first bird of any flavor, of any feather on our list tonight. Give us a transmission, and thanks for bringing us by.
Oh, well, thanks for checking me in, and glad to be the Eagle coming in for the first bird. With that, we'll go ahead and take a listen to the next radio.
And we will do that next radio. Radio number 6, logging in at 9:44. Hey, Paul, I hope you can still hear me down here in Fresno where the lights are flashing off and on. Over.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it was real nice night for change. Really nice. I want to check in my Pierce Simpson Guardian 23.
All right, heading over to Pierce Simpson. We got a couple of Pierce Simpson in radio last week, thanks to you. And first, what I'm going to do, we'll do a little explanation here. I'll go to the advertisement, and this Pierce Simpson advertisement from, I'm going to say 1965, but I don't know exactly for sure. Pierce Simpson out of Miami, Florida, shows their 3 radios: the Companion 2 at $189.50, the Escort at $229.95, which I think is the one you brought by last week, and their top-of-the-line radio at $300 with the outstanding features, the Guardian 23, which we will hear as soon as you take a transmission. Back to you.
Yeah, this is a later model. It has more of the goodies of the thing. It's like 1964, I think you mentioned that. But it's got something different in the thing. It's got a hydro-sync circuit using crystals instead of VFOs. A single crystal has transmit and receive in the thing. That's something new for them, for sure. Rather interesting. tell you, this microphone I got is really it's pretty sad. The original microphone, those thing, it's Neuphonics, so it's ceramic. So that's like that Chris got. I had his microphone on my radio here. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you.
Sounding good for Radio 6, and this is sort of the other side of the coin. Greg, S9 Radio mentioned about the jet age styling for fins and things, but the modern look. This is the modern styling where you've got everything nice and smooth in the square theme, the corners sort of like a Frank Lloyd Wright situation. I think Pierce Simpson really did a good job on designing their radios to look less like a utility thing, like general radio telephone with the rack handles, and more like an RCA or a Zenith tabletop radio that you would put in the house, on the doily in the living room. So sometimes the function or the form wasn't quite, wasn't the giant S meter. Obviously, you can tell on that one, but it fit in their escutcheon, their rectangular escutcheon. So you had to have a little tiny S meter to fit with all the designs on there, and that's the way it worked. Anyway, let's go back to you for another transmission, the Pierce Simpson Guardian 23. 1964, I guess, is the first year they came out, and they ran for a couple of years. 23-channel frequency selection, exclusive heterosync circuit, dual conversion, super het receiver with low noise, new Vista front end, superior squelch circuit, illuminated S meter if you can see it, and many, many other things. There is a schematic available for that radio at oldtuberadio.net. And if you need to hear the sound again, take another transmission, Paul.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is quite a change. It's got a meter on the thing, but it's still small. But it's also got a light on the right-hand side, passing the control, the channel control, which is flashing right now. Really a nice-looking radio. It's got different colors on the front, like a purple. I would say it would be a gray and a yellow. I don't know. Got all kinds of things in it. Pretty nice radio. And thanks for checking in, Dennis.
All right, a very nice radio out of Miami, Florida, Pierce Simpson Incorporated. The accessories that were available at the time, the Companion 2 S meter, that's their bottom of the line units. You could actually buy a standalone S meter for it for $10.95. You couldn't even get shipping, $10.95 now. And all models. Now here's something you can look for. All models had a remote speaker. I don't think I've ever seen a remote speaker. The Guardian, Pierce Simpson remote speaker for all of those. And the Pierce Simpson has a very nice looking front throw speaker. I don't know how. I've got one here. I can't remember. I thought that sounded pretty good, but the remote speaker might be interesting. Thanks for bringing it by. It's radio number 6. As always, enjoy your collection. Thanks.
Thanks, Dennis.
Number 7.
And number 7, step up into the air chair at 9:49. I'm looking at what our next radio, and our next radio should be radio at number 7. And the lights are behaving. Cornbread saying it must be the fish in the pool nibbling at the lights. That's the thing. Here in the Cornbread, here in the control room that everybody sees, the stuff has been here forever. But yet, somehow we have the budget for a pool and the umbrellas, which I don't mind. I mean, it looks good. And if you've ever been over to the green room and all the nice fancy things there and the lights that work, and then we come into the studio here and we have this, I guess. But that's okay, because what we feature on the Old Tube Radio Network is not so much this control room, but the radios that stop by that beacon and make what is the Old Tube Radio Network. We appreciate our tube radio operators who take time out of their Saturday evenings, like this gentleman, Mr. Ed, Radio 7, who's going to tell us what he has brought. Hello, Ed.
And good evening to Mr. Dennis and all the SWLs. This one is the Tram TR27E with the Electro Voice 638 microphone attached.
Very good. That is our first, that is our first tram radio of the evening. I do believe if I can turn on the right switch here, yes, we have a picture of the radio, and not only of the radio on which you are talking. So there it is. Let me make it bigger if I can to match your big audio. Go ahead.
There you go. Big green radio. But yes, green. And unlike the last radio, this one does not have a small S meter. Nice big meter, 3.5 inches tall, 3 inches wide, and 5x7 speaker. Then let's see, volume, noise limiter, squelch, good old modulation light that should be winking and blinking as I'm talking.
I bet it is. I saw someone selling one of those S meters out of the tram. That's also, I think, the same S meter that's in the Titan. I know about the Titan too, but the Titan has that same S meter. And if you were to buy that and you wanted to install it in our prior radio, the Pierce Simpson, you would have to, one, buy the remote speaker, and then that S meter would probably fit in the speaker grill area. Just nice. It'd probably just barely fit in there. So maybe that would be a thing to do. Buy the remote speaker, get the nice big meter, and do it that way. Radio 7, Tram TR-27E, the final, I think the last of the TR-27 series from 63, maybe 64. I don't know how, every month it seemed like they came out with an upgrade, and then they went totally different when they went to the, at least on the outside. For the insides, I don't know, but at least on the outside, when they went to the Titan, it was a whole different look for that radio with the rack handles. This one always sounds good. Similar to our prior, one of our prior radios, you have a receive VFO and then crystal control transmit. Are you able to switch so that both transmit and receive are on crystal? No, it strictly VFO on the receive, so there you are. Okay, so you have to spot, because I saw the switch there, but I see there's an external crystal socket, so that's probably what it's for. So you do have to spot your receive, match your transmit to the little window there. The picture is on, so is it illuminated? When you turn on the radio on your transmitter knob, do you get an illumination through the dial there? Yes, I do get illumination. It's not real bright, but it is illuminated. Okay, because it's a very small window, but it looked like it's a clearer and opaque control. Getting some thumbs up from our SWLs on that radio, as you often do. Not only for the way it looks, but for the way it sounds. Give us a transmission, and as always, thanks for bringing it by on the Old Tube Radio Network. Well, thank you. It's one chance I get to bring the old tubes out, so thank you very much for checking me in. With that, we'll go ahead and take a listen. All right, the Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, here on Saturday evenings. Since about 1985 or 86, we have been doing this. It's always nice when someone who hasn't been on the radio for a long, long time plugs something back in on Channel 11 and says, I can't believe you guys are still out there. And thanks to our radio operators who just don't give up. We will be out here for a long time, I think. Many of you have been around here for a long time. Remember all the various net controllers who have sat in the air chair here. I am glad to do it on Saturday evenings and have a great time doing it. Also, we've expanded through the Universal Media Netweb to, if you can't hear us on 27085, you might check us out on the audio at oldtuberadio.net or on the video, as many people do. And in the last 10 years that we've been doing that, we found out there are a lot of people doing exactly the same thing we're doing, similar thing, like Old Radio Night or a Get on the Air Night, and a lot of you have some great collections. Checking out some from the Facebook pages. So I think 11 meter CB is alive and well. Yeah, maybe it's not like the C.W. McCall days and Smokey and the Bandit, but we're all still having a good time shortwave listening, transmitting on our radios, and doing what we do. So we're standing by for a possible radio aid. Hello, radio. Yeah, we still got time here before 10 o'clock. Are you back into the old radio room?
I am, and I'm on my Robin T123B.
All right, I'm going through a Rolodex to find the Robin. I should have a post-it on that thing because we get a lot of Robins. And I will guarantee you that there are some stations not in this time zone that have probably stayed up way past their bedtime, way past when they knew they should be fast asleep, as we say, in hopes that one of these radios would stop by, and indeed, thanks to you, here we go. So let me put a picture this is from Chris Callahan. Not only do we have the green Robin, but we've got the box that it originally came in. 5-watt, 23-channel Citizen band transceiver, and below that, it says the looks and performance of tomorrow by the designers and engineers of today. Somebody got paid extra, a little extra in their paycheck to come up with that. Take a transmission.
Okay. Well, my Robin T123B, 23 channels, 11 tubes, and I am running it on AC, although it's AC and DC. But right now we have it on AC, and my modulation light is just flashing away. She seems to be happy. And the old meter here is just receiving, and looks like it's transmitting. And I have dials adjusted on this one because I have a little noise level, and I think I've helped it out a lot. And we are on a D104 powered by a 9-volt battery. She's amplified.
It sounds good, and you don't have a lot of room echo, because when you get an amplified microphone, you got to be careful. And the reason I say that, because your radio also has, and we can see it in a picture here on, I guess, the left-hand side underneath the S meter, where it says range expand. So without turning anything off and on, and just for those who may have this radio or think about getting this radio and have a D104 microphone, amplified or not, are you running with the range expand off or on?
My range expand is on. It's been on since the day I put this amplified mic on. In fact, I ran it when I ran the original little palm-size microphone, which I still have here in the drawer. And ever since then, I've had the D104. I've had it on the range expand on.
Very good. And I think in all the time that we've been checking these radios in, if you have a microphone that is not amplified, you typically want the range expand on. Now, if you have a microphone like Joe does that is amplified, you can also run with the range expand on. It sounds good. But my guess would be, and I know on the D104 there's not a nice little dial like on the +2 where you can look at it and say I'm at number 7 or number 2. But my guess would be that you probably have a very conservative setting, a very low audio gain setting coming out of that amplified D104.
Yes, I do. And it's been that way since the day I put it on. And also, another little added feature to this one is that I have got extra channels on this one. It's got a couple of micro switches in the very front, very small. They look like the kind of switch that's on the bottom of a microphone, so you could switch it over to electronic or however you had to put it. And right now, the way the switches are setting, we are on 11, and below that number are my extra channels. I think 10 would be 35. And somewhere I think on 1 would probably be 26. Otherwise, I could leave the switches the way they are and run all 23.
Yeah, what is it, 1972 to 1976 when these radios were produced. At some point, the handwriting was on the wall as everybody was going up above 23, and the FCC was getting ready to bang the gavel and said, yeah, we're going to do the 40-channel thing. So this particular chassis was capable of some frequency trickery by jumpering some things inside, and like you said, some tech has done that to your radio. One of our listeners, John, says the Rockin' Robin chassis reminds him a lot of the T-Berry Model T, and he is absolutely correct, because if you were to take the case off, it would look a lot like the T-Berry Model T. That's the Panasonic. I think Mitch says that's the model, or the Panasonic chassis number 2. I think Robin paid more somehow to have every single available option on that radio, brought out with the external speaker and the PA and all the lights and the range expand, because some of the same models from Panasonic or of the different manufacturers don't get all the features that the Robin does, but they've got the same Panasonic chassis, which I believe might even be plate modulated. Like I said, 1972 to 1976, when they had to stop making those radios, because why? Because they were only 23 channels, and the FCC said from now on they've got to be 40 channels. It's got 11 tubes, 12 AX7 in the audio, and I think it's got 6 BQ5s running some other things that make it sound good. At oldtuberadio.com, I think you can find an operator's manual and a schematic. And right here on oldtuberadio.net, you can hear the thing live and direct. Back to you, Joe. Thanks for jumping in, as always, on the Old Tube Radio Network. You've got radio number 8 in between the Bulldog game, and back to you for transmission.
Okay, Dennis. Yeah, this is a fairly nice little radio. It has your external speaker button and your PA speaker button, which are accompanied by lights. Both have lights, and of course your modulation light, your TX light, and a few added features there that are pretty nice. And a little update on the score on Fresno State, 23, UCLA 17, and right now there's no threat to UCLA because they're in command of the ball. Thanks, Dennis.
Sounds good, boy. An interstate rivalry going on between the Central California Fresno State and the Southern California UCLA. You see the light is flashing. Is there water on the floor? I don't know. I thought I mopped everything up on the brakes, so we'll see what's happening. It is 10:03. We'll see where the radios are going. Oh, I want to check in. Thanks, Joe, for Radio 8. I wanted to check in. Let me go back to the SWL list and get 78 from Wild Wildemar back at the QTH after a Wild Wildemar Saturday evening. Hope you didn't spend too much money. But if you did, I hope you spent it on the right person. And you know what I'm talking about. Richard, we got you checked in. Anybody else? Anybody? Okay, one more. I've got to get my quota, I guess, of 2 singer jingles. SWO47, Mike was up at the picnic today, and he got to meet Mr. Announcer, and I got a big chuck. He said, "Boy, this is like meeting Santa Claus. This guy you never see." All right, which one do we want? After getting tossed in the pool, I don't care. Wait, let's see if we play the right one. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You're tuned to
OTR Channel 11,
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
And we are counting and amounting.
Well, this doesn't have a magic eye, but it's something different. How about a Browning for that list?
Hey, this is the something different frequency at 10:05 or 10:04. I don't think my big 3-inch LED Micronta Radio Shack clock, I haven't calibrated it yet, but I'm going to log you in at 10:05, and you are You will be. You are. Radio number 9, over.
Okay, so this is going to be kind of weird. Connor, you're going to go in your room, you're going to look at the brand name of that big LED clock you have in your room. Do that for me right now. What's this, by the way? All right. I'm going to have to talk your ear off on those Micronta. I didn't even just pronounce that the right way. Those LED clocks. But something that was not by Radio Shack is the radio I'm on right now, my Browning R27 S23.
Yeah, that's a far cry from Micronta. Made in the USA. Was it Laconia, New Hampshire? Browning? I don't know. Where's Browning from? Definitely at that time, made in the USA. I have a picture from old SWL 58. Joe Yogi Berra. I don't know where Joe is. I don't know if he's in California anymore. But this was his radio. We're showing it with I think it's the 180 amplifier, which I believe you said you do not have. But if you did, I'm sure it would be on the shelf, but probably not fired up in line. So yeah, there's no magic eye, but there is no shortage of blinking, illuminated things on that radio. Over.
Yeah, there are all sorts of fun things that light up on this guy. So I think my favorite thing about it was the on-the-air lamp that illuminates on the transmitter. I guess I don't know. I've made this comment numerous times. I think I've got sort of moth DNA in my blood. I like magic eye tubes, obviously, and I remember doing a lot of looking on eBay as far as Browning radios were concerned. I got the Robbins, or the Robin, the 123, to begin with, just simply because the magic eye tube on there. And I think I got this Browning from SWL 20. Thank you, sir, 20. Probably, I know that it's almost like Porsche. They always say that the latest model is the best. But I paid attention to the Browning, the Mark IV. I thought that was kind of cool. And the 3, and then somehow this one came on my radar screen, and I thought, man, this has a huge on-the-air lamp, which is just wonderful. And then I think a short time after that, SWL 20 wound up with this thing. So long story short, it's in the Radio Shack now. But yeah, it's got on the transmitter again. It's got this huge on-the-air lamp that looks great. That I've always found it really peculiar that the 3 words "on the air" in that window kind of have a downward slant to it. Someone must have been feeling rather fancy when they designed that, but it looks great.
Yeah, more than just a little blinking light, right? As if you were in one of the. We were up at the transmitters today, but if you were down in one of the studios that those transmitters were connected to or beaconing, you would see the real on-the-air lights. 1964 through 66, the Browning Eagle, the original Eagle, the R27 receiver unit, the S27 sending unit. There was a Series 1 and Series 2. Series 2 had the larger meters, the neon modulation light, and, as Michael was talking about, the lighted on-the-air indicator. We'll call it an on-the-air indicator that lets you know when you are on the air. Radio always sounds good, and I'm showing with the D104, but you are using, as you mentioned, the banana style mic, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm assuming it's the type of microphone that would have come with this radio originally. But yeah, original, I guess, banana style mic. It always looks like a Tootsie Roll to me. If you look on the back part of the microphone, where your fingers kind of curl around. There's kind of, let me look at it here. Yeah, there's definitely some segmenting going on there. And I don't even know if they're still available, but you used to be able to get these really big Tootsie Rolls, and they were kind of broken up into segments. It was one big log, but it had some kind of cuts in it. And that's, to me, that's exactly what this thing looks like. I'm sure no one's ever referred to this as the Tootsie Roll mic.
Oh, no, I don't have one. I was lucky enough to have one of the E.F. Johnson style microphoniums, but I know exactly what you're saying. It's got the little segments in there. I think with the Tootsie Roll, that was sort of where you could share it with your friends with with that microphone. I think you'd be sharing it with anybody, but it is a, what do we call it, mid-modern design or jet age or something like that. Although I always thought that microphone looked even like 1930s or 1940s. I don't know if it's all that modern, but it sounds good, and it's a good match for your radio, the Browning Eagle R27 S23, that works nice in your Radio Shack, I'm sure. Back to you for a transmission. And what am we looking at? I don't know where we're seeing that. Let me put the radio back up. And it was, like I said, it was good to see. How was the ride up the hill? Was it a good day for being out?
It was, and I super don't want to take up too much time here. It was a phenomenal day. Like I mentioned, I'd gone to the Fresno Scottish Games, which was great. I'll buy you some time here. I don't know if you're doing any counting announcing. Went to the Scottish Games, saw lots of the fun little booths, lots of bagpipes, lots of sheep herding dogs, definitely some gentlemen that had some suits of armor on that were genuinely whacking at each other, trying to, hurt each other in some fighting competitions. It was great, absolutely wonderful. And yes, the trip up the hill there to Meadow Lakes was great too. Just a nice slow ride up there. The weather was great, and couldn't complain at all about it. It was a great day.
All right, certainly fun-filled, action-packed, and capping it off with the Old Tube Radio Network. For those that don't have the video, I found my kind of wet tie. I guess, can you iron a tie? It looks like it got wrinkled up when I got tossed in the pool here, so we will see. Radio number 9, the Browning Eagle R27 S23, sounding good on the Old Tube Radio Net. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Can I bring this one by?
You can. You have wandered into your Radio Shack that appears to have some tube radios, and that is while we are here. So let me get into the BL section of the Rolodex and have at it. Over.
I forgot to turn another radio off. Now I can't reach it. Oh well, let's hope here. The Browning Golden Beagle R68T68 by Browning Laboratories. No flushing required.
All right, we won't flush it. It seems to. It's trying to behave. Let's put it that way. It's trying to behave and do what it should do. The Golden Eagle by Browning, and a good juxtaposition between the radio that we just heard, which was the Eagle, and then this radio that came out after that, called the Golden Eagle, with whatever exciting things and updates that they put into just the regular Eagle.
not sure. Anyway, this is the one with the 3-position RF gain switch and the on-air light. And it's sitting next to the RF gain one with the spot switch. Spotlight.
So that you may spot yourself. And the receivers on the Eagles on the Brownings never did have any crystal controlled select of anything, right? They were always tunable. I don't recall any that had plug in a crystal and switch to it, right?
Well, actually, the R2700 had, I've got to look. I hope I don't squeal. Turn the thing off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-position crystal receive. Excuse me, on the R2700 and the R2700A. On the R27, it has a fixed and, what's it say? Well, mine's worn, so I can't tell. How about that? Because I didn't dress it up there. It's got here it is, fixed in manual position. Manual is the manual receive. Fixed is a 1-channel receive that you set with a separate little trimmer cap similar to the larger VFO, but it's recessed below the the tunable channel selector in between the fixed manual switch and the RF gain switch or control. Anyway, and you reach in with a screwdriver and set it to whatever channel you want. And that is also on the Golden Eagle receivers and either model. So there you go with that there. Turn it back up. So crystals for the R2700, R2700A, and then on the R27 you have a preset, whatever you want, VFO for 1 channel that you could switch to on that one and the 2 Golden Eagles.
Great. They would have thought of that, because especially, I remember my days of listening to people on Brownings, and a lot of them were just sat, and this would be in the late 60s and early 70s. That's back when you sat on a channel. You had a home channel. It was channel 3 or 5 or 7 or 22 or whatever. And there you sat. So it probably would be a good thing to have some type of lock on the channel, because that's where you were on that. And Harvey, listen to the playback. You sound better on that radio without the range boost, hands down.
Well, if I have my hands down, I can't key the mic. So one hand up. Thank you. The only problem is Paul won't be able to hear me up there, I think. Oh, the Mark III early model had a manual Crystal 1, Crystal 2 switch. The later model receiver on the Mark III had a manual Crystal and then HF position for VFO, tunable VFO. So it had regular VFO, 1-position Crystal, and then the high freak position for the VFO, which is amazing. That's on the Mark IIIs. Mark IVs obviously didn't need that.
Definitely. All right, well, they would have thought of that. They would have put that in there when you're paying $800. They're going to give you everything. Radio 10, you got us into double digits on the radios, Harvey, tonight. We appreciate that. At sometime after 10 o'clock, the Browning Golden Eagle R68, T68, sounding good. Back to you for another transmission. I'll pick up the breaker. We'll count an amount, and we'll get out of here for those that are leaving or need to leave. 73 to you. Thanks for tuning into the Old Tube Radio Network. The archives will be up somewhere. If you'd like to hear your radio playback or catch what you didn't catch, and as always, we appreciate our operators and listeners here on the Old Tube Radio Network. So back to you, Harvey, and see, I'm Browning eagling your name there.
Well, as long as you don't Browning Beagle my name. Okay. Thank you, and catch you next week.
All right, sounding good. There was and my lights are totally out now, so I need to go anyway. Who is the breaking station OTR is listening?
This is 72. Dennis, I just want to let you know, you had some kind of explosion there, right there by Van Ness chemical. Just giving you a heads up right there by Floridora. I just want to give you a heads up.
Okay, I'll get you checked in, and you say the explosion, I'm probably not, unless there's a big explosion, probably not close enough to hear that. Floridora, and what was the other area?
Van Ness, they're actually evacuating people, Fresno police are, so I'll just give you I just heard on the scanner, so I kind of want to give you a heads up.
Wow, all right, that's over in the tower station. That is very close to the FM radio station. And Van Ness is the tower just on Saturday nights. That's probably a place where there's some nightclubs and some other places where there might be people gathering. So I hope everything is okay. So we'll get an update on that. So sounds like, I don't know if there's any residences in that area or not, but on Van Ness, there's some of the very 1910, 1920s, very grand and large, older style homes. So we'll see if everybody's okay. Thanks for the heads up on that, and I did get you checked in. Over.
Yeah, copy that. I went to the Sacramento Hamfest out there, bought me a scanner and a couple diamond antennas, and had a great time out there at Sacramento Hamfest.
All right, I didn't know. I know there was one. Is that the one that's up north of Sacramento in Lincoln?
That is correct. That's the one I went.
All right, I have to go to that. I used to go to Lincoln every year long ago because my grandparents lived there, back when there was only about 6,000 people in the town that now probably has about 150,000 people. So I know, at least I know old Lincoln quite well. So, and they have a very good ham radio group up in that area. So yeah, they should put on a good venue, as you found out. All right, thanks for checking in.
Copy that. Then I have a good one. I'll be out of here. I'll be on our channel.
And speaking about gone on the channel, let's take Mrs. Calabash and the rest of us and do some counting and amounting here on your Old Tube Radio Network.
This is the Old Tube Radio Network. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. It's time now for the current OTR totals.
The current and final OTR totals. Let me grab my list here. Tonight we had 12, for the shortwave listeners, 12 check-ins on page 1, 18 on page 2, 16 on page 8, and 22 on page 4 for a total of 68. If I counted right, 10 radios. And I'm looking. It looks like the Brownings were the most heard manufacturer with 3, General Radio Telephone at 2, and a host of others, which we will talk about right now. Starting things off tonight was the Sonar Model E that was brought by Cliff Green Arrow, with the external meter sounding good on the sonar tonight. The General Radio Telephone BB30, the business band radio from 1965, I think it was, from Paul up in North Fork. Radio 3 tonight, Joe on the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. Radio 4, the General Radio Telephone Super MC 11A Thanks to Christopher for that. Radio 5 tonight was Mr. Ed on the Browning Golden Eagle, his Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB. Top-of-the-line Guardian for 1964-65. A top-of-the-line Pierce Simpson, I should say, which is called the Guardian 23. They had an updated version of the 23B. Paul was on the original 23 for Radio 6 tonight. SWL7 on Radio 7. Mr. Ed on the Tram TR27E. Radio number 8 was Joe Hustler, and he was on the Robin T123B tonight. The Browning Eagle R27S23, the original Eagle designation for Browning, thanks to Mike for radio number 9. And then Radio 10 tonight, as you heard moments ago, the Browning Golden Eagle R68 T68 on your old tube radio network. Thanks everybody who stays up late. Thanks for all of you who participate, whether you are listening in or checking in your collection, sharing it with us all here on the old tube radio network. We appreciate that. I've got to go check and clean up any water that was on the floor. Maybe I will go out and enjoy the pool the proper way. Thanks for listening. I know we didn't do much listening on the HF tonight. Let's see if there's any AM SIGs down on 75 meters tonight in the AM window. It's probably a little late. I still don't have the proper antenna. I don't hear anything on the West Coast. Don't hear anything on the East Coast.
For 4 years with a light boat with 8 inches of freeboard.
But the band is definitely open. Anyway, take some time to get on the radio this week, wherever it may be, and have fun. Stay safe. Do what you need to do, and we will catch you all next week on your old tube radio network. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Catch you next time.
Thanks, Dennis, and thanks to Bozo Control.
Thanks to you, Dennis, for hanging in there.
Yeah. Anyway, they called it the surfboard.
Sometimes you have to hang in there. 73 and the honking proboscis says we had a good time. This was, despite what it may seem, a good time was had by all. And good night, everybody.
Oh, quick question.
This is the quick question frequency. Over.
Is that an Apex 204 oral exciter with the big bottom end above your head there?
All right, a question asked. Let me go back to the video. All right, yes. That is the 204. There's a 104 version, which I used to have. I don't know if I still have it. And this is the 204 that has, and it's stereo, so it has one side and two sides. That's the nice thing about the 204. You can actually route it in and run it, and then reroute it back in and run it another way. And what I found is that the big bottom, there is a definite sweet spot for most of the radios with the big bottom on the tune. And little goes a long way. The more the radio does low frequencies. The high frequency, I was never very pleased with it. There is, if you've got a radio that will handle the high frequencies, you can probably tune in something, but you've got to be very careful because it puts, frequencies well above 5 and 6K that will end up tearing into the audio. Then when you go down, it's got some of those mid frequencies that don't sound good. So you've got to be real sparing on the high side. But the low end bottom works really well if you've got the right radio. Over.
Okay, yeah, just curious. Just heard one recently and heard the difference, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't have it in line because this unit right here sort of takes care of all of that. But that was the one, I added one other piece, which is this. And the other piece I was thinking of adding in out of all this would be that, just to see how it would affect what's going on with my low-end processing. And then the thing to do is, do you add it after the processor, which is typically how you would do it. Because if you add it before the processor, then you have some compression and things that sort of undo what the low frequencies does. Because typically this will enhance the low frequency without adding too much gain or volume, which can be a problem. So I may try that either on an insert channel or an after the fact thing. But the nice thing about this here, it really does control. If I want to add some low frequency, in somewhere before or after. I don't know if you can hear that. I know you can hear it on the internet. That's low frequency before the processor, but it's not the 204. So the 204 might do a better job. All right, but the long answer to your question is yes, that's what that is. I think they still sell them. I don't know. I think the one failing of this, if there is anything, I think it runs off a wall wart, and sometimes you have to be careful that it can pick up RF. That's the susceptible part of RF, so you can wrap your DC cable coming out of it with a ferrite or something if you get RF into the thing.
Yes. Well, investigating the audio chain type stuff. It looks like I'll just keep looking for a while.
They also have a 104, but it doesn't have as many controls. But like I said, the good thing about that is it's two separate units. It's a stereo unit, so you can run it twice if you want. You can put one set of low frequencies coming in, and then another set of low frequencies coming out, either pre or post to other processing you might do, and then experiment with the high frequencies. I use it because I was doing music and some other things with the audio rack here, and that's where the high frequency stuff shines. That's really good for punching up some high frequency crispness, which doesn't normally work when you're only at 3K or 6K on the sideband or AM. All right, more than you wanted to know, but you asked.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, and I still got the HF radio going in the background. Good night, everybody from the Old Tube Radio Network. And it's party time. I got to find some. Who asked if it was party time? Levon, I'm going to find some cheese and crackers or something my style. Good night, everybody. And Greg, you got the DAC. Yeah, I don't know if you use the low end of it or the high end of it, but yeah, it's subtle. A little bit, like I said, if you've got the right radio and your radio's got some openness on the bottom side, the low frequencies do real well. And the fact that it has the tune, you can just hear it pop in. And yeah, there's a bad. You can get the bad spot. You can make the AFX sound, make the radio sound bad if you accentuate the wrong frequency. It's just you got to be careful on doing the sizzle on the high frequencies. 73 Greg, we'll talk to you later. The Old Tube Radio Network.
Good night, Dennis.
Good night. You're sounding good, and I heard you talking about crystals and things earlier. What did I do with my crystal I had? We'll have to go over the box because there may be some. In fact, I know there was some good stuff from Steve's Box O crystals.
Yeah, looks like Cliff needs one. 13542.5 transmit for the sonar. Okay, I'm gonna look around. I've got some of them, so. I think, so I'll look and see what I got. Okay, talk to you next week.
All right, 73. And, I forgot, you said, I'm talking to Greg here, S9 Radio. The DAC is wide open. You must be doing the, feed the balance modulator thing. So, yeah, when you have a radio like that that's open wide, then it is up, like John, like Motormouth Mall says, it's up to the operator to figure out where to work your bandwidth so that, one, you're not splattering, and two, that you're going to sound good on somebody's standard radio, because not everybody's got an R390A at 16K wide or the Drake, R8B to hear what you're doing. All right, Greg, hope to catch you on the air sometime. 73.
All righty, 73, see you. Catch you next week. We're out.
Hey, Harvey. Hello. Yeah, I guess it looks like I'll need 2 of those, huh? It's a 13 on the transmit on the sonar here. Sounds like it's the same frequency for the tram.
Roger, 13.542.5.
God, that means I need 2 of them. Rat. How hard are those to get a hold of?
Well, I'm testing some crystals right now, and as we speak, so we'll see in a sec.
No, why? Do you think you found them?
Remember I said I found that drawer that had transmit and receive crystals for channel 11? I found the drawer. Now I just have to test them, because a lot of them, some of them might say 13.542.5, but in most cases they just say 27085 or channel 11. But I have to test them to see what they actually are. So I'm doing that right now as I unkey.
All right. No, I was wondering, I talked to you about it last week, and you said the 13 megahertz crystals, you hadn't found those, that they were probably in another box.
Yeah, those are. But I'm going to check this and see what I got here.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down now. You, I hope you find it.